What if I told you colonialism never ended? It just changed uniforms. No more governors sent from Europe, no more official colonial flags flying over our capital. But the control, the extraction, the dependency is still very much alive. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Today, the system does not rely on just foreign powers. It relies on African elites, politicians, business leaders, the ruling classes, who are acting as the middle management for global interests. This is Neo-Colonialism, and it is quietly shaping Africa's future. After most African nations gained independence in the 1950s and the 1960s, leaders like Kwame Nkrumah warned us about neo-colonialism. Even Nkrumah wrote a very good book about this. Neo-colonialism, the last stage of imperialism. In this book, Nkrumah defined neo-colonialism as a system where a country appears independent, but its economy and political decisions are controlled from the outside. Instead of direct rule, control now happens through debt, trade agreements, multinational corporations, military partnerships, and aid with conditions. On paper, we are sovereign, but in practice, many African economies are structured to serve external markets. We export raw materials, we import finished goods, we borrow money, we pay with interest, and the cycle of colonialism continues. And that's Africa's reality. Now, let's talk about corporations. In the colonial era, companies like British South Africa Company controlled land and resources. Today, it is oil giants, mining conglomerates, agribusiness corporations, and foreign banks. Think about Niger Delta in Nigeria. Decades of oil extraction, billions of dollars made, but for the local communities, polluted water, destroyed farmlands, health crisis. Multinationals sign deals with government. They extract resources, the profits leave the continent, the environmental damage stays. Take cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo, for example. Cobalt powers global tech, electric cars, smartphones, batteries. The whole world goes green, but mining communities remain poor in Congo. There's child labor scandals, infrastructure barely improves. This is extraction without transformation for the people of Congo. Their lives never get better. Africa supplies raw materials. Others manufacture, others industrialize, others accumulate wealth. And what we get in return is destruction, pain, and disease. Now, here's the sensitive part. Neo-colonialism does not function without African cooperation, just like during colonization and the slave trade. It depends on African political and business class that benefits from the arrangement. So let's think about it in this way, like how a corporation is structured. At the top, global financial institutions, foreign government, multinational companies. At the bottom, the ordinary African citizen. In the middle, local elites. They are the ones who negotiate and sign questionable contracts. They suppress local resistance, borrow recklessly from institutions like International Monetary Funds and other big banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. And when the debts rise, who suffers? Not the elite. The citizens face high taxes, cuts in social services, currency devaluation, rising cost of living. Meanwhile, political leaders and the other elites attend global forums, secure personal deals, stash wealth abroad, and even relocate their families in Europe and United States of America to escape the doom they have created through their negligence and greed. The system of neo-colonialism, from the perspective of Africa, it rewards compliance. It punishes resistance. Leaders who attempt to go the other direction, when they attempt to do radical economical independence, often face destabilization, politically or economically. History shows that clearly. and not just in Africa but across all the colonized parts of the world. Even some historians nowadays attribute what's happening in Iran and all the global noise about them to the coup of Mossadegh, who was only guilty for trying to nationalize national resources to help improve the lives of Iranians. So this is how they handle leaders like Mossadegh. Their reputations are destroyed with propped up propaganda. Their livelihoods are destroyed, and not just only them, their families and friends too, just to put pressure on them to fall in line with neo-colonialism. And at the very worst, they are also killed, or let me use the CIA fancy word, neutralized. Why does Africa, rich in resources but remain struggling in many areas? This is because raw exports economies rarely industrialize. Let's simplify it. If Ghana exports cocoa beans but imports chocolate, who captures the real profit? Certainly not the farmer. If crude oil is exported but refined fuel is imported, who controls the pricing? Obviously, not the local consumer. This structure creates weak manufacturing sectors, youth unemployment, dependency on foreign exchange, and constant borrowing. And in this case, any kind of development becomes cosmetic. If you are an African, take a look around you. Then you understand why African politicians trying to exploit the small things they do to their eyes, or like they have like 3 ceremonies for just one project that they are going to barely finish because it's all cosmetic. Look around. We build luxury apartments, import SUVs, attend global summits, but structural transformation is limited. We are simply dragged along by global transformation, but our lives never transform. Neo-colonial economies are designed to extract and not to empower. That's why Africa is the way it is. Because systematically, that's where the rest of the world needs it in the food chain. Environmental devastation is another cost we incur in this system. Illegal mining, oil spills, deforestation, gas flaring. Communities lose clean water, farmers lose lands, fishermen lose livelihoods, but compensation is very minimal. Why? Because regulatory institutions in African countries are very weak and also intentionally compromised to create the environment for corruption and easy access of foreign companies to go about their business. When political survival depends on foreign investment, enforcement becomes flexible and the land and the people pays the price. Future generations inherit the damage. Right now in Ghana, illegal mining, what we call galamsey, is destroying most of our drinking water bodies, with not just the mud in them, but they are highly intoxicated with metals like lead, mercury, and also cyanide. We also are losing aquatic ecosystems too. In a few years' time, we will have to import all drinking water and also foodstuffs just to avoid metal poisoning. And this is not a position a third world country like Ghana should be in. Even it's not a position any country, any group of people should be in, because it's a very dangerous place to be. And in Ghana, where the gap between the rich and the poverty is so high, millions of people are going to suffer for generations if care is not taken. So what now? What should we do about neo-colonialism? It's not just about being radicalized and taking very dangerous radical actions. I think the first important point is that we need to understand neo-colonialism and why it survives. Neo-colonialism survives because citizens are distracted, contracts are hidden, debt agreements lack transparency, and accountability is weak. All global elites fear accountability. They spend billions yearly just to destroy all prospect of it. Don't fall for the cynicism of not being able to do anything about it. Here is the key shift. Awareness changes power dynamics. Don't feel powerless just yet. Young Africans must educate themselves, their families and friends too, about the conditions, the causes, so that we all understand that we are in the same boat heading for a very terrible direction. Then we can effectively demand transparency in resource contracts and the activities of government institutions. We must also support local industrialization, hold our leaders accountable, understand the global economic systems and where we are placed in that food chain. This is not just about blaming the West alone. It is about dismantling a structure that includes foreign power and African collaborators with a lot of power and resources. And it is not going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be hard and dangerous. But it is a path we must all walk. It is going to be difficult, but we shouldn't give up, because true independence is not just about holidays and singing anthems. It is also economic and truly political. Until Africa controls its resources, manufactures its goods, prioritizes long-term development over elite enrichment, colonialism hasn't ended. It just evolved. If you found this video valuable, like, share it, and subscribe, and start conversations, because silence sustains systems, and the awareness of the mechanisms and the elements of these systems disrupts them. See you in the next one.